Good day. Staying here, we're talking about how to start a business. Today, I'm just going to guide you in a step by step guide to start your own business. In my previous video, I talked about things that you know, like entrepreneurs must know or you must know about starting a business. If you want, you can look for it on my videos on my channel, but I'll try and put a link in comments below. So if you want to start a business, what do you do? We're going to go through the steps so you can understand. The idea of putting this information it is to make it easier for you to start your own business, because I know a lot of people have the burden to start their own businesses. So yeah, if you want to make sure you want to make sure you prepare thoroughly before you start a business, but realize that things will almost certainly go wrong. To run a successful business, you must adapt to changing situations and changing times. Conducting in-depth market research on your field and demographics of your clientele or customers is an important part of crafting a business plan. This involves running surveys, holding focus groups, and researching SEO, search engine optimization, and public data. Before you start selling your product or service, you need to build up your brand and get a following of people who are ready to jump when you open your doors to your business. So some of these ideas normally work for people with income. People with income, they normally go through these stages, the planning, and as where I'm coming from as a black person, there's some challenges that we face, and most people in the black community, even in white communities, wherever, there's some people who do not start this way. They start with creating a product. They just create a product without any idea what they want to do, and then people start talking about the idea. Then the product begins to gain demand, and then that's when they start to build their business from the success of their product. So whichever way happens, if you have a successful service or product that you start and you don't have a business idea, you don't have any logos, it's not a bad way to start, because when you have a product that has demand already, you can then go to the drawing table and say, how do we make this a business? Or how do we formalize our idea or our product or our service so that it can reach so many people, so that we can operate it as a business? So there's some ideas here that are Western, and there's some ideas that we would want to be more practical, because to say you must start this, and at times people who start business do not have money, and a few will borrow money to start things that are really working, or get into partnership with people that have the knowledge of the product and they have the money. Those are some circumstances that people do business here. So now, if you have a product and if you have the burden to try and develop the product in your own time and make sure it works before you look at anything else, it's not a bad idea, though, while you're working, or as long as you have capital. But then you come to a point where you want to sell the idea or the business to someone else before you try to do a business. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you feel now you need to create a business to sell your idea, to sell your service that you've created, then you can go through the steps that we're going to outline in this talk today. So talking to many entrepreneurs or small business owners, you will quickly learn that starting a business requires a lot of work. It's not easy. An idea doesn't become a business without any effort. You have to put so much effort for an idea to work, for it to become a business. Some budding entrepreneurs understand the effort necessary to create a business, but they might not be familiar with the many steps required to launch a business venture. If you're willing to put in the effort to build a business, you're going to want to know the steps that I'm outlining below to reach your goals. So most people, or entrepreneurs, or people that think they're entrepreneurs, they start an idea, a business, and they never be able to grow that business, and they're probably the one employee of the company, and they're working inside the business. There's a danger of working inside the business. You need to create a business so that you work outside the business. Working outside the business means your business will operate whether you are there or not. So most entrepreneurs are creating businesses where they do everything, and there is no room for the business to operate. If they get sick or if they are away, everything stops. Everything depends on them. So for you to be able to create a business and a successful business and a successful enterprise, I think you need to learn to create a business that operates, that does not need you to be there. But in the beginning, any business will need the owner, the founder to be there. It's important. But then you begin to move away a little bit and give room to other people and for the systems to operate. Tasks like naming the business and creating a logo are obvious, but what about less heralded, equal important steps? Whether it's determining your business structure or crafting a detailed marketing strategy, the workload can quickly pile up. Rather than spinning your wheels and guessing at where to start, follow the 10 steps that I'm going to give you in the checklist to transform your business from a light bulb above your head to a really entity or a company or an enterprise. So I've got 10. So the first one is refine your idea. It's very important to refine your idea, because you might have an idea and it's too rough. You need to refine it to the core and then write a business plan, or get someone to write a business plan for you. Assess your finances, what you need to do the business that you want to do. That's number 3. Number 4, determine your legal business structure. Like is it a sole proprietor? Is it a CC? Is it a PTY limited? Is it .org? Whatever company that you want to build. So you need to determine that. And also you need to register with the CPRO, register of companies. Wherever country you are, you need to register your business before you start, and also register for tax. And then purchase an insurance policy if you're going to have goods, because I've had clients that I did signage for. They were opening a computer shop in Randburg, and they'd put so much stock in the shop. Lucky enough, they were insured, but before they opened, the robbers broke into the shop and stole everything. But they managed to get the things because they were insured. And one of my clients who was starting a car radio fitment center in Volkswagen, they were robbed before they opened, and they couldn't open. The business collapsed at that point. So you need to purchase an insurance if you're going to carry goods, or if you have to have something, there's so much risk. And then build your team if you need to. But always make sure your team is small enough to do the work that's there, or big enough to meet the needs that needs to be there. It mustn't be too big or bigger than the capital, and you mustn't overemploy people. And the key important thing is also to get people that know what they do, that know their roles, and that knows what to bring value, and that do not need more supervision. Because I've worked with people that with the minute you go somewhere else, they sit and they're on their phones, and by the time you come, no progress is done, and all you do is work for them. That killed me for almost 2 years when I was working with other guys. Choose your vendors. Vendors is like where you're going to get your materials, or people who are going to sell your product. Those are your vendors, people that are going to sell your product. If you need to choose them who are going to distribute your vendors, our products. And then brand yourself and advertise. It's important to come up with a concept, a logo, and identity. It's important, and it's not expensive these days, because most of the people are designers, and if you can get students from school, they can do that for you for less. And if you can post on Facebook, there's so many people who for the skills and have no job, who can help you crafting your identity for as little as possible. And then grow your business. Start growing your business. That's the 10th one. So those are the 10 things that you need to consider when you want to start a business. So I'm going to go through them again. The first one, number 1, refine your idea. Number 2, write your business plan. Number 3, assess your finances. Number 4, determine your legal business structure. Number 5, register with the government. Number 6, purchase an insurance policy. Number 7, build a team. Number 8, choose your vendors. Number 9, brand yourself and advertise. Number 10, grow your business. So those are the 10 steps that you need to consider when you're starting your business. So let's go to number 1, What is refine your idea? If you're thinking about starting a business, you likely already have an idea of what you want to sell, or at least the market you want to enter. Do a quick search of existing companies in your chosen industry. Learn what current brand leaders are doing and figure out how you can do it better. If you think your business can deliver something other companies don't, or deliver the same thing only faster and cheaper, you've got a solid idea. You are ready to create a business plan. In other words, like Simon Sinek, always start with why. It's important to start. Why am I getting into this business? It's very important. It is good to know why you are launching your business. In this process, it may be wise to differentiate between whether the business serves a personal or why, or a marketplace why. When your why is focused on meeting a need in the marketplace, the scope of your business will always be larger than a business that is designed to serve a personal need. So you need to consider that. So another option to open a franchise of an established company. It's another idea to buy into an existing business, and then they will set you up, and you just pay royalty fees, and you don't have to worry about branding. And then, regardless of which option you choose, it's vital to understand the reasoning behind your idea. So it's very important. Many people think they have a great idea. Many people think they have a great idea and jump into launching their business without thinking through who their customers will be and why these people should want to buy from them or hire them to do business with them. Second, you need to clarify why you want to work with these customers. Do you have a passion for making people's lives easier, or do you enjoy creating art to bring color to their world? Identifying these answers helps you clarify your mission. Third, you want to define how you will provide this value to your customers, because it's important to focus on value, how to communicate that value in a way that they're willing to pay for it. So you need to understand value and how to communicate that value to the customers so that they can be able to identify it and pay for it. During this ideation phase, you need to iron on other major details. If the idea isn't something you are passionate about, or if there's not a market for your creation, it might be time to brainstorm other ideas. So look for something that is on demand already and create something to fulfill that need, because business is mostly about solving people's problems. So it's important to make sure that we solve people's problems when we start doing business, not because we want money, because most people want to get into business because they want money. Business is not just about money. Money is the byproduct, is what you get in offering service to the customers, value to the customers. Number two, it's write a business plan. Once you have your idea in place, you need to ask yourself a few important questions. What is the purpose of your business? Who are you selling to? What are your end goals? How will you finance your startup costs? These questions can be answered in a well-written business plan. A lot of mistakes are made by new businesses rushing into things without pondering these aspects of business. You need to find your target customer base. Who is going to buy your product? Who is going to buy your service? If you can't find the evidence that there is demand for your idea, then what's the point of trying to waste money and start something and then you lose money? So it's important to write a business idea. And number three, conduct a market research. Conducting thorough market research on your field and demographics of potential clientele is an important part of crafting a business plan. This involves conducting surveys, holding focus groups, and researching search engine optimization, the keywords that you're going to use, and that data is very important for you to understand your customer. The best small businesses have products or services that are differentiated from the competition. This has a significant impact on your competitive landscape and allows you to convey a unique value to potential customers. A guide to conducting marketing research can be found on the internet, and I'll try and put a link in the comments below. And then number four, consider an exit strategy. When you grow the business, how do you intend? It's also a good idea to consider an exit strategy as you compile your business plan. Generating some idea of how you will eventually exit the business forces you to look to the future. Too often, new entrepreneurs are so excited about their business and so sure everyone everywhere will be a customer that they give very little, if any, time to show the plan on a leaving the business. So it's important to know. When you board an aeroplane, what is the first thing they show you? How to get off it. When you go to a movie, what do they point? They point you out before the feature begins to play, where the exits are, where the emergency exits are. Your first week of kindergarten, they line up, or they will line you up all the kids and teach them fire drills to exit building. And also, when you go into a ship, they do the same. The drills, emergency drills. So it's important as a business to write your business plan. Helps you to figure out where your company is going, how to overcome any potential difficulties, and what you need to sustain it. It's very important to have that, because this exit plan was also the thing that caused some 29 deaths when the ship Concordia capsized, because the people hadn't gone through the drill. So it's important to know the exits, to know how you're going to run the business. If there's a problem, how you do it. I'm not saying don't commit. Always think that you're going to leave the business. It's important to know that you're committed, but it's also important to know the exits. And then 3, assess your finances. How much money do you have? How much have you saved for your venture? And are you going to get money from the bank, or do you have other people financing you, or angel investors or uncles financing your business? And how much you need before you start making money. So you need to assess your finances. It's very important. Many startups fail because they run out of money before turning a profit. It's never a bad idea to overestimate the amount of startup capital you need, as it can be a while before the business begins to bring sustainable revenue. That's important. And then perform a break-even analysis. One way you can determine how much money you need is to perform a break-even analysis. This is an essential element of financial planning that helps business owners determine when their company or product or service will be profitable. So you need to determine that. Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Fixed assets, average price, variable costs, and break-even point. That will give you break-even point. So the formula is simple. Fixed cost, average price, variable cost, then equals to break-even point. Every entrepreneur should use this formula as a tool, because it informs you about the minimum performance your business must achieve to avoid losing money. Furthermore, it helps you understand exactly where your profits come from, so you can set production goals accordingly. Here are the 3 most common reasons to conduct a break-even analysis. Determine profitability. This is generally every business owner's highest interest. Ask yourself, how much revenue do I need to generate to cover all my expenses? Which products or services turn a profit, and which ones are sold at loss? So you need to understand this, that how much turnover do you need to be profitable, to pay after paying your costs, your rentals, and everything else. So you need to know how many sales do you need to make, and how much money do you need to make, and how much are your costs. And then price a product or service. When most people think about pricing, they consider how much their products cost to create, how competitors are pricing their products. Ask yourself, what are the fixed rates? What are the variable costs? What is the total cost? What is the cost of any physical goods? What is the cost of the labor? You need to do that, because at times I struggled with it. When I get a signage job, I'll just take it because I wanted to deposit and I didn't have money, and do the job at loss. And at times I would run away with people's money and then come back some months later, and this is not the way to do business. You need to just make sure when you do business, you're going to make money. That's what I do now. I don't take any business where I know I'm going to run around and not make money. Analyze the data. What volumes of goods or services do you have to sell to be profitable? It's very important. Ask yourself, how can I reduce my overall fixed costs? How can I reduce the variable cost per unit? How can I improve sales so you can have more sales? It's important to make sure you do that if you want to be successful with your new venture. and then watch your expenses, because at times when money comes in, we just buy this, we buy that. When this is not there, we buy that without looking at how much we're spending on one thing. Are we supposed to be spending that money that we're spending now? Don't overspend when starting a business. Understand the types of purchases that make sense for your business, and avoid overspending on fancy new equipment that won't help you reach your business goals. So a lot of startups tend to spend money on unnecessary things like lunch, like fancy cell phones, like fancy offices, to just show off. So make sure you do not fall in this trap. You need a financial assistant. A commercial loan through bank is a good starting point, although these are often difficult to secure. If you are able to take out a bank loan, you can apply for a small business loan through the Small Business Administration or small other banks. They'll help you with that, and they'll help you to manage your finances. But if you can, try and avoid any bank finance to do that. So startups requiring insignificant funding upfront may want to bring in an investor or investors. Investors can provide several millions of dollars or thousands or more on a fledgling company, with expecting that the backers will have hands-on on a role in running your business. So it's very important. Also consider this equity crowdfunding, where you put together people to fund your business. But you need to have discipline if you're involving other people's money. And then choose the right business bank. You need to know the costs of the banks. Is it FNB? Is it Standard Bank? Is it Capitec? Which bank suits you? Or which one has got low costs? Which one can give you a backing when you need one business bank? Because some of these banks, the costs are very high, and they take advantage of their name that it's known. So choose the right bank. So you need to understand what is important to you. I want to build a close relationship with the bank that's willing to help me in any possible way? Do I want to be just another bank account like big banks will review me as a number? So you need to consider that. Do you want to get to a bank where they will be helpful to you and what you want to do? Number 4, determine your legal business structure. Like I said, do you want to be a sole proprietor? You need to determine that when you're opening your business. Or you want to be a PTY limited, you now need to understand what is a PTY limited, what's the risks of being, or what is the legal structure of a PTY or a sole proprietor or an ORG, or if whatever business that you need to also to understand that. But here I'm just outlining what you need to do. Number 4 is to determine your legal structure. How do you want your business to be structured? And probably we will do another video clearing up what is a CC, what is a sole proprietor, what is a PTY limited, what is an ORG, all those things. I think we must do a video to make sure that you have all the information that you need. Register with the government, CPRO. Most of the companies, this is like when you know that you want to do business, you must do the registration. But this is almost like a Western, or like when you really know you're starting. But I encourage people to start informal, your business informal, and then when you start getting the momentum, then you can register it. That's how I started my business. It was easier when the business was already making money. So if you want to start a vegetable, start selling door to door. You're informal until you're organized, then you can organize your business. It's important. And then don't forget to register for VAT. Number 6, obtain all required licenses and permits. Don't forget that for your business. It's important. For purchase and insurance policy, that's number 6. It is a might slip. Your mind is something you get around to eventually, but purchasing the right insurance for your business is important, and to get the right insurance also is important. To get the right people to work with is important. Workers' compensation, unemployment insurance, or any liabilities and anything that is caused by, like now we've under COVID-19, if you had started your business prior to this and insured against this risk, insurance will be paying you for loss of revenue. It's very important, but not so many people think about this, and so many small businesses are struggling. And it's unfortunate that so many businesses are going to fold, are going to close down because they didn't heed to this insurance. Build your team. Like I said, hiring a great team, you need to also understand people and understand the value that you want them to bring to you. Identifying or finding your team is understanding what gaps exist and determine how and when will you address them, or you need these people to fill in those gaps. At times, don't start up with a whole team when there's no work for them, but as you go, you hire people as you go and you grow the business. It helps. And then choose your vendors. Running a small business can be overwhelming, and you and your team probably aren't going to be able to do it all on your own. That's where third-party vendors come in. Companies in every industry have a PR or business phone system exists that will help you to run your business better. So you get this to help you. When you're searching for B2B, business-to-business partners, you'll have to choose carefully. These companies will have access to your vital, potential, sensitive information. You don't want to give people to get that information and steal your ideas or abuse that kind of information. It's important when you share your people, your ideas and your business model. Brand yourself and advertise. It's important to create an identity for your company, an identity that gives security to people. That's important. So you need to make sure you take your time and do that to the brand, to brand yourself, your business, and advertise. Branding is easier. If you need to start today, you can just go to Facebook, make a post. You'll see many people commenting that are unemployed, that will charge less, and then you can compare and take it from there. And also branding is not like it's the final thing. You can always evolve. Like after a year when your business is doing well, you can look at your rebranding and look at your brand and doing new logos. But the idea is to start. But if you can get in a logo that gives you the character that you want and the look that you want, it's important. Ask customers to opt in your marketing communications when you send them. It's good to send them to opt in or to try your services. And then number 10 is grow your business. Your launch and first sales are only the beginning of your task as an entrepreneur. To make a profit and stay afloat, you always need to be growing your business. It's going to take time and effort, but you get out of your business what you put into it. So everything compounds. The amount of time you put in, you always get it out. Everything compounds. So if you put enough time into your business and enough resources into your business, you get out. If you advertise well, if you have the right team to advertise for you, you get whatever results that you want. Be prepared to adjust and be flexible. There's a saying in the media that says no plan survives the first contact, meaning that you can have the best plan in the world, but as soon as it's in action, things change and you may have to adjust this as you go. So be willing to adapt and have a quick problem solving way as an entrepreneur. Your value lies in solving problems, whether that is your product or service, solving problems for other people or solving problems within your organization. So you need to be very quick to adapt, and it's important to adapt when you're running a business. When there's a problem, to adjust and then adapt, to look at things, to always seek clarity, to understand, are you on the right track? It's very important. So these are the 10 things that I wanted you to understand, the 10 steps. I'm going to go through the 10 steps again so we don't get lost. I'm going to put them in the comments below, the 10 steps without an elaborate idea, just as a skeleton that you remember the 10 steps. So I'm going to go through them with you now. The first one is refine your idea, write a business plan, assess your finances, determine your legal business structure, register with the government or with SARS, purchase an insurance policy and build your team, choose your vendors, brand yourself and advertise, grow your business. So vendors are the people that you're going to work with, or the suppliers that will give you the tools that gives you an advantage or the cutting edge so you can compete in the marketplace. The most important thing about a business is value. What value are you going to add to your customers? It's important. Never lose sight of this. It's important to always focus on value in everything that you do. And I hope I'm able to give you value with this video and that you'll be able to have a successful business. But there's always tools on the internet of people willing to mentor you and help you and give you this information without you spending money. Like we're posting these videos because we want to help you. We want you to do well. We know you for the potential and we know you want to run your own company, a successful company. If If you're on this channel, it's on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your people and come to it. You can save it or you put a notification so that when I put another video, you'll be notified that we've dropped some content to make sure you have the tools for you to run a successful business. My name is Stan. We're still under lockdown in South Africa. It's 2020 and it's the 10th of May. And I hope this information will help you to get where you want to go. If you need help with anything else, let me know so I can help you. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you.